you have a data center disaster recovery plan? Unfortunately, as we all know, disasters can strike at any time, and physical structures like our data centers, our co-locations, are always going to be susceptible to potential damage, right? From power failures, from equipment failures, to software failures. Data centers also have the added worry because they have to protect sensitive internal or client information that's stored on the equipment. Sometimes disaster is inevitable, but having the right data center disaster recovery plan can make all the difference. But where do you start? Protecting your company and your potentially clients' important sensitive data starts with the right security practices in your data center or your co-location. Being proactive is only half the battle. You can lower your risk of complete shutdown substantially with the right plan and employee training. But how do you build the right plan? Well, the first step is to assess your risk. Downtime is extremely costly for data centers, and a recovery plan that starts with trying to minimize any potential downtime as much as possible is the key. That starts with identifying and assessing the risks associated with your specific data center. Now, think about your building's infrastructure. Locate any floor or building plans and blueprints, network infrastructure, equipment diagrams, or other relevant information that should be evaluated for risk and damage. Use documented information, personal company inventory, and staff knowledge to locate and address the most serious vulnerabilities to your data center or co-location. Perhaps it's old equipment, or poor training, or dirty or damaged ventilation in the data center itself. Maintenance levels can play a key role in data center downtime risks. Think about any at-risk equipment. How would you replace it? What kind of shape is it in now? And how do you plan to decommission that in the future? With those things in mind, you can start to build your plan by prioritizing the likelihood and severity of each risk. Once you've finished your thorough risk assessment and review, building plans as well as any previous disaster recovery plans, it's time to start building your new plan. Most modern data centers are either backed up via cloud services or physically at another redundant site. In this sense, recovery plans are most focused on minimizing risks and making any potential downtime as short as possible. Any physical backup site should have their own set of recovery plans. So if we have a redundant site, we can have a separate plan for that. If we have cloud backup, we're going to have a plan for that, right? And we'll have contingency plans as well. And remember, with cloud backups, it's very important that we regularly test those for speed. You should know your maximum downtime and what to expect during a reboot. And the key is to always be ready. Your data center disaster recovery plan should be documented for future use and potential changes and adjustments. So maybe every 6 months that gets gone through by your team, reevaluated and adjusted. And be sure to run annual inspections on the necessary tests to ensure that your plan is still effective, especially if you're backing up to the cloud or you're syncing to a redundant site. You want to have a plan and a time stamp on when you're going to test those backups to make sure that it's effective. And all employees should be aware of any and all recovery plans as well as procedures during and after downtime. The right security and risk assessments will help tremendously in disaster prevention. But in the event of a crisis for your data center, having the right disaster recovery plan can make a key difference in your company's loss recovery. It's also important to note that in the event of a data center decommission, there are vital security measures to take into account to ensure that your used hardware and network equipment is properly decommissioned, properly sold, erased, and disposed of. With over 26 years of experience and being the clear leader in IT asset disposition, Exit Technologies not only can do that for you, but we can make it as simple as a phone call.
Call or email us a list today and let us know what equipment you've got, and we'll give you a quote on the spot.